You are listening to ZTO Radio.
So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Hello, everyone. This is ZTO Radio. I'm Carrie Meyer, and this is an interview that I have been so stoked to do for a while now. I am such a fangirl for these guys. Initially, it was supposed to happen on April 18th on Record Store Day, but that's been moved to June 20th, with the world being the way it is right now. So tonight we're doing this remotely with everybody safely social distanced in their houses. Their album June is available for streaming on any of the streaming services and for direct download from their website, Henodus.net. We are talking tonight with the members of the Columbus, Ohio band Henodus.
Hey.
So, hello.
What was going on there, Bo? You were just like fading in and out of like space, man.
trying to find my space, man.
Trying to find the right filter.
The thing is, if you have a green screen, you can do any background you want, but it's kind of funky if you don't.
Interesting.
All right. Introductions. If you could, let the audience know who you are and what role you play in the band.
Go ahead, Trent.
Oh, I'm
go.
Trent. I'm the bassist.
And saxophone player.
Oh yeah, I forgot the sax. Jay, you're next.
Yeah, I'm Jay. I play guitar and do sometimes backup vocals and play banjo.
Okay, I'm Josh. I'm the drummer.
I'm Bo, lead hype man extraordinaire.
You also have
All
some
right.
hitchhikers on here. That we just kind of jumped on because what else do we have to do? I'm Frank. I'm ZTOTV producer, whatever. Then we got Ray McGuff. Can you say hi, Ray?
Hi, I actually am also in Henodus. In the background, you'll hear me on several songs going.
He's the triangle player.
Something like
Just
that.
yells
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, that's right.
We also have Jake Eilerman. Is that how you say your last name? I always have a problem with it.
Yes, it's Eilerman. And I guess if I'm being a part of the band tonight, I'm just going to be the guy trying to hook up with the girls because I know the band.
That's a good. That's a good role to have right there, man.
Yeah, I want
Every
to
show
train.
he gets all the girl.
I'm training roles.
All the girls.
That knows the band. That's
It's one of our moms usually.
I mean, that's not far from the fact.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, how did you guys come up with the moniker of Henodus, and how did you initially come together as a group?
Bo?
So I'll let you take
All right.
that away.
We rolled several dice with letters on it.
that's the greatest.
It's
thing I've
a
ever heard.
prehistoric
Yeah.
turtle. It's cool. It's actually a placodon.
So
Technically,
how did you all initially come together then as a group? How did you meet?
Oh, through Tinder.
Oh, Grinder.
Love connection.
Grinder, get right.
We got together in a gay relationship through a regular, like, isn't it that?
Yeah.
I mean,
They have, like, their own
it was
one.
We play instruments, too.
it was a match made in heaven, right? I guess.
I think Trent was the only one who came from Grindr.
Oh,
We found out that we played instruments after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same site that the guys from Tiger King all found themselves on.
Oh my!
Exactly, except I don't have meth or cocaine. Had to play music.
Only because of the coronavirus.
Right.
I just like to imagine you guys are all on one big date at like Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Wait, you play bass? I sing.
Oh, wait!
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's actually a Ponderosa in Columbus. There's
There
one
is.
left. Yeah.
I think it's on like South High or something.
South
like
High
that.
Street.
Sticks.
Over by the
The
driver's
only
seat.
one in the country. Along with
It
the
is?
only Blockbuster left.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Damon's around too, I think.
Oh man, Damon's. Yeah, there's one over in Newark actually. That's like about 40 minutes away from Columbus, right?
I think so, something like that.
I think there's a Damon's there. Maybe. Yeah.
I would describe you guys as alternative punk.
Cool.
I think one of the best visual representations of the complexity of your songs is that video that Jason put up a while back on Facebook of him playing the banjo in an Iron Maiden t-shirt. But how would you guys describe your sound?
Josh?
That's banjo and Iron Maiden t-shirt.
I don't know, guys. Any of you want to take that away?
I mean, I've already said this before. Hard alternative melodic rock. I don't know. I don't really.
Ham rock.
Ham rock. Yeah. I don't really.
I don't think it's easy to categorize you guys. Really.
Yeah. No, and I agree
too.
too.
Yeah.
Frat boy anthems, maybe.
Frat boy anthems. Well, like the frat boys that grew up to become dads.
There you go.
I'd songs for dads.
I'd say it almost sounds like an 80s action movie in 2020.
There it is.
I like it.
80s action movie 2020.
Yes.
That goes straight to Netflix because it's
Yes. A Netflix original.
Starring Dolph Lundgren.
There you go.
And Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the album June, the title. What is the significance of June? Calling it June.
Trent.
Well, it's not to get so personal or anything like that, but it's actually named after my mother who passed away this past July. So we were coming out with the CP, and we were going through all this sort of drama, or I was going through all sorts of like personal stuff, and I don't know, like the album, each song has like, now Bo, correct me if I'm wrong, but like each song is like a season, so to speak. And so it's just interesting that it's named like a memento for my mother, but also each song has its purpose like in the year. So there's like a huge, like an idea like of the reason behind it. But that's essentially it in short.
It's a beautiful tribute. It really is. Now that you guys have been putting up videos of you guys in the studio on Facebook, Trent even teased a song on another recent podcast. Are you guys wanting to put another album out there, or just playing around with it? What's the status of all that?
Yeah, our contract deal is for 4 more albums. So
just 4.
After that, there won't be any more Henodus, but we got 3 more to go. 4 more. No, yeah, I mean, we have material for at least another album.
I would say most definitely. If not for this whole thing going on, I mean, we would definitely be working on that.
Yeah, I mean, the song that we recorded recently, Finish Your Drink, it should have been released, this week or last week, I believe, but because of the whole coronavirus, it kind of put a halt to that. But the idea for that one too, we were just going to actually add it just to our June EP as in like an additional song. So we were just going to keep on building and building slowly.
But I mean, if I would say, just to kind of like tie into that question, what we're doing with this time, at least I know I am, to bring to the table once we are able to get together, everyone's working on their own like material, and then bringing that to the table once we get back together. And then I'm sure we have a lot of ideas to contribute at that point. So it's promising. We'll see. See what happens.
A lot of jerking off to do come summer.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Figuratively, of course.
Sure.
All right, we are up to our first music break. We're going to play what is a favorite of mine, of your music. It's become sort of a mantra for me in the year 2020. It's something I want to touch on a bit when we come back. This is Nails by Henodus on ZTO Radio.
Vigilant predator sees every opportunity to strike. Relentless pursuit every day. Oh, wild abandoned every night. You are the light, even when no one else sees it, and you keep the game when no one else thinks it's needed, and you hold the flame when everyone else thinks it's gone. Not disintegrated, yeah, return the hero by dawn. And hammer away, and hammer away, and hammer away, and hammer away.
Amazing.
Yes.
It just makes me jacked and ready to get back into a weight room when this is all over. Honestly,
Throw
like
some weights around.
I'm ready to get back in the weight room.
All right. I am
Me
ready
too.
when you guys are.
Yeah, yeah. I'd also like to go to this weight room.
Have you seen it? Is it?
Have you seen where the weight room is?
It's awesome when there's a bar, but it's 12 on 12.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Josh. It looks like he's been being recorded in 1997.
That's what I said, dude.
That's what we were just talking about.
He's got like some.
No.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but like his video
It's
looks
just
like it's like
to
a
the space.
retro VHS.
It's just what my
Recording.
It's
computer's
like that
doing.
Snapchat filter.
Yeah, it
you
looks-
can use.
Yeah.
It's a Snapchat
I think
filter.
I think if a Japanese girl pops up behind you, you better get the hell out of there.
Stock 96 IBM ThinkPad that I can zoom on.
There you
I'm
go.
using my Palm Pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But I like it. I think it looks like those new retro wave videos. Like the
Yeah, we could totally say he's doing it on purpose.
yeah. It's a new gun. It's a new gunship video.
Why?
He can try to pull it off. Like it was an artistic thing.
He's just got shitty gear, man. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So what do you
All
got,
right.
Carrie?
All right. And we are back with more with Henodus. Not to go too much into detail, but 2019 was kind of a rough year for me. I went through a lot of heartbreak, a lot of major changes in my life. It was really, really bad. But towards the end, I found saw you guys play at Gromies, found your music, and Nails has kind of become a theme song for me in 2020. I think of it as a song where you find your goal that you want and you, quote, hammer away at it until you achieve what you want to be, and don't lose sight of that. And I actually play this song quite a bit to remind myself of that. I really do. When you go into
awesome.
writing songs, do you have anything like that in mind to start? Or is there one of you who's better at like lyrics and one's better at riffs? Or like, what is the process of you guys going through and writing a song?
Honestly, every song's been different. There's a few times where we'll go in with like a little catchphrase or something, but a lot of times we just kind of riff on stuff for a minute and then try to build some structure around it.
Yeah, it just kind of comes in together. Like, it's weird. I mean, Josh is absolutely right. It just kind of, sometimes we go to practice and either Bo or Jay is like doodling around, then Josh is like, hey, that sounds kind of good. Let's just keep it up. And then that's kind of how it just blows up from there. Yeah.
Then there's a few times where somebody will come in with a full song already written.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. But the end goal is always find something that's groovy.
Yeah.
No lame songs.
Something that everybody
We
can
save
agree
those
on.
for the hour and a half shows that we have to do.
Yeah. Screw those shows. Unless you want to book us for an hour and a half, then we're totally down. We got all A+ material.
Yeah, it's a
And
pretty eclectic group that we have here. So,
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, with the interesting elements of adding in like saxophone on Nails with Trent, and then the knife in the spoon drawer with the banjo. With you guys, I don't think every song sounds the same, and I'm not saying that as a complaint. That's not a lot of things that artists can say, really, that each one sounds different than the next.
Sorry. I was like, it's interesting you say that, because that's actually not the first time that I've heard somebody say that about us, actually.
What do you guys listen to for any inspiration, and do you guys have any like creative influences?
God, it's really all over the place, at least for me. I mean, it really depends on what mood I'm in. I listen to, and I'm sure everyone else can probably have their own range, but a pretty wide range of musical inspiration. Anything from like African guitarists like Ali Farka Touré, all the way through like, you got classic rock bands like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, 80s metal. I mean, just whatever I guess you're feeling at the time when you're making riffs. But I mean, I listen to a lot. I don't know. Trent, Bo, Josh, take it away.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. I mean, yeah.
See, I grew up in
Actually, Trent, I would say you mostly like the classics, like the classic rock.
Well, that's true. As Josh likes to put it, like I'm in I'm just now discovering MySpace as
there you go, yeah.
So most of my music listening has been before 1980. I don't know. I just never really grew up with, I don't know, listening to rock as much, and most of my musical influence, I was in band. I've been playing a saxophone ever since I was in first grade, so it's mostly like, I don't know, old classic Mozart, things like that type of stuff. So, but that's just my background. That's probably why I like wine so much. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I ditto. I like a lot of folk rock, but I also like, everything from metal to alternative rock. My big influence sonically is probably Queens of the Stone Age. So, but that's not like the songwriting. That's just how I like to tone my guitar. So that answers anything.
All right, we are up to, I didn't mean to talk over you.
You're good. Go for it.
All right.
Hold on. let Josh say answer the question too, and then
we don't need to hear.
Okay.
He just hits things.
I listen to mostly podcasts, really.
What do you listen to? What podcasts do you listen to?
Dude, my wife got me on Dave Ramsey, and then the Dollop.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I grew up in drum lessons forever. I took private drum lessons for probably 15 years from some of the best around here in Columbus. So that's been my background, is just learning all the different beats and everything. Can always make it fit in.
Do you know Brandon Smith from Columbus? He plays at Shadowbox Theater. He's just one of the best drummers I've ever met, and I know he gets around a lot, so I wondered.
Yeah, a lot of mine was Lars Raymond was one of my main teachers.
Right on. All right. Well, like Carrie was saying, we're gonna take another music break here and hear The Out from Columbus. They have a new song called Sync. Check it out.
Touch the ground. In a place it's not too far away, it's too far, you always say, and you say that just to disappoint. Bring me
Henodus. Are there any other local artists that you guys really like or wish you could play with?
Yes.
Well, I think the band that we always kind of cling to, they're kind of like in our inner circles, Letters of Transit. They're good people.
They're really good people, really good music.
Mm-hmm.
Love playing with them.
I'd like to get. Oh, go ahead, dude.
No. Go ahead, because I'm trying to think of names right now. We played with. We've been blessed to play with a lot of really, really cool bands.
Yeah, like so we got Minions of Mayhem, Mighty Bristle Cone, Letters of Transit. I'm like drawing blanks. There's a lot. Yeah, like Bo said, we've been able to play with quite a bit. I do want to actually, well, Bo, if I cut you off, dude.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say big shout out to Almost Honest. I'm a big fan of theirs.
Yes.
They're out of Pennsylvania and they're amazing.
There is a band I want to give a shout out to that we haven't had a chance to play with, but it's a buddy of mine named Artie and his band Nombre. They're a local band, and they I'm a big fan of like the sludge and doom metal genre as well. And if you like a heavy Sabbath, check them out.
We were walking through the streets in my small town when a couple of punks took us down. You gave them your heart, but you swore it wouldn't tear you apart. Doused your words in gasoline. The promises, what will they mean? We dodged the flames, but now there's nothing to say. Yeah. Out of the dust and out of the smoke, you grabbed the keys and I suddenly choked. Where will we go? Where will we go? You said let's all move to a city in love, where we live in trees and our hearts are doves. City in love was a city for me until I barked up the wrong tree. Literally, maybe I'll find deep in the pine someone just like you tonight. When we reached the city, you said to me, you said, wouldn't it be great if we lived in a tree? And I said that kinda sounds a bit shady. And if we learn from before, let's try not to ignore the elephant so big it's gonna fall through the floor. And I already understand you're never gonna be a man, no, no. Out of the dust and out of the smoke, I finally realized that there's just no hope. Where do I go? Where do I go? You said let's all move to a city in love, where we live in trees and our hearts are doves. City in love was a city for me until I barked up the wrong tree. Literally, maybe I'll find deep in the pine someone just like you tonight. Oh God, please keep me safe, 'cause we're traveling through this North Haze. Oh dear, I'm forever stuck on a dream crossing my mind where I have never looked. Whoa, it's not fair, just don't waste my love. Whoa, it's not fair that we're cursed with this love.
Where is the strangest place that you've ever played?
Gromies.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with Stage is awful crazy.
Stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote
That's hilarious.
stage.
Section of floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say Gromies as well.
The only crazier place would be our practice space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
where?
your
What is
practice
that?
space doesn't have a mannequin head with like devil horns on it in the background.
There is a Santa Claus. There's a Santa.
Oh, okay.
You probably seen some of the photos with our Santa and some of the videos or some of the photos we've taken.
What sort of building is that? Because I have seen photos and stuff. It looks
Dilapidated.
crazy. Yeah, it does look crazy. Is it like a barn or
It's a
something?
work
What
in
is it?
progress.
It's a work in progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in a fire. Well, it was. Well, the fire was in it.
I'm hoping this was before you guys started practicing.
No, during.
Okay, well,
During?
Do one of you own the building?
No, but they never locked the doors.
Just go in.
So you just made yourselves at home. Sure, why not?
Waters.
No, Jay, wanna take that? I mean, it's your mother's house, right? Or your mother's place. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a work in progress, but they're pretty cool to let us play up there. So, yeah.
Agreed.
No, there was like a fire, but it was like God, I think that was like in 1900s, I think, or yeah.
Like 1999.
I was gonna say. I was like, he just made the 90s.
I'm pretty sure in like
He's ready
Stockton,
for old
it was like
shit.
way back in the day. So
The 1900s.
it used to be a
Back
bank.
in the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh, I didn't know that. It was a bank
no,
at
it
one
used
point?
to be a bank. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, we have some traps on the 3rd floor. The stairs is, if you can make it up the stairs, you're golden.
Yeah.
Enter at your own
If not, you're
risk.
dead.
You gotta sign a waiver.
If not, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's actually,
Come in.
Disclaimer over the door,
Yeah.
right?
Can I tell you
You're
my
not
favorite?
responsible for loss of limb.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about watching people play at Gromies is having them clean up the space where they're going to play.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
Now, evidently, he has more space now because Crystal Visions or Night Gallery, whatever. What was it?
Crystal Visions,
Crystal Town.
yes.
Crystal Town.
they have moved to a different location, and now he has both sides of that building. So I don't know what he's going to do. He has more room because what the problem was, it wasn't that messy at the beginning of everything. He took on a whole record store that went out of business as stock of weird, crazy old shit, and now he just has nowhere to put it. But I assume, he also can't pay anybody either, so it's just him.
Wait, that other side is open now?
What's that?
That other side is open, like where they had like the rocks and
the magic crystals and
magic
stuff.
crystal. Yeah.
Like the dildos
essential oils, all that stuff.
Did they have
where it started to smell different? Like it didn't smell like a record store anymore.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna smell worse in there. I assume. But
well, they had to move them all those crystals because there wasn't enough sunlight to charge them.
Yeah,
that's
That's
how it
not
works.
how
Man.
they work.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
how little I know about that.
I love you, Josh.
how do they work?
It's not how they fucking work.
Pyrite.
Right?
That explains it.
I believe what
I
Randy
can
said.
answer that question, but we don't need to segue into that.
But no, Gromies is awesome though. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun playing there though.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any funny experiences with fans or people butchering the band name? I actually have a story about that. A few of you guys have seen the video already, but I'll let you guys go first.
Definitely butchering the band name.
I think only one or two people have ever got it right the first shot.
Henodus.
Henodus, yeah.
Henodus. I love that.
I liked when we played at Gromies. Gromy was like, you guys got to tell me what your name is so I don't butcher it. And then when he gets up there, he's like, he's looking at his Palm Pilot or his phone, looking at Bo, looking at his phone. And he's like, what's the band's name again?
Now it's Metallica.
Well, you could rename them. Rename it something that I'm going to mention here in this story. A few of you have already seen this video. This is the Alexa story. Yes, a few of you already know about this. But I discovered when I got an Echo Dot that I could play my Spotify playlist through Alexa. And Alexa was... The Dot was louder. The speaker was better than my phone. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to play all my music through this. And I could hear it throughout my house. Well, it would play everything else on my Spotify playlist. I could say, play Sloth by The Undying Obsession. And it would play, Never Too Late by As the Ember Burns. Plays just fine. I tried to play you guys, and I had to record this and send this to Bo because it was just so funny. I said, Alexa, play Nails by Henodus. I asked her 4 different times, and she gave me, I cannot find music by Her Noticed, He Noticed, Henry Otis, and Harlan Notice.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that she just started playing Eminem and Rihanna.
Right.
Okay.
I asked for Alexa, play Knife in the Spoon Drawer. I got Love the Way You Lie, explicit version, the explicit version.
Interesting.
By Rihanna and Eminem. And then the second time I asked, it said, playing songs by the band Hey Ice Machine, which I have no idea what that is. But she refused to acknowledge the word Henodus, even though Henodus is not a made-up word. She did not recognize what I was saying. But I did figure out a workaround for that, if anybody is interested. Like all the songs on June on Spotify, and then tell Alexa to play your liked songs playlist, and she will play your music.
There you go.
Cannot
Because I know we're
Alexa,
on Amazon Music.
Yeah, you cannot ask Alexa directly. And
Alexa,
I sent this video to Aaron, so I don't know if he'll be able to edit that in at some point.
Oh, sure.
But it is really, really funny.
Alexa, play Nails by Henodus.
I can't find Nails by Henodus.
Alexa, play Knife in the Spoon Drawer by Henodus.
Love the Way You Lie, explicit, by Eminem, featuring Rihanna, on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, play Nails by Henodus.
I can't find Nails by Henodus.
Alexa, play Knife in the Spoon Drawer by Henodus.
Playing songs by Hey Ice Machine from Spotify.
Alexa, stop.
Because, Knife in the Spoon Drawer and Love the Way You Lie, that's like the same thing, right? Totally the same thing.
Yeah, she's just like, fuck these guys. Check this out.
In the video, it's very, very funny because it's like Alexa's almost like saying, "Are you sure?
Are you sure you want to listen to these guys?"
Rihanna and Eminem might be a little bit better.
Here,
I don't understand why, because it played everybody else. It wasn't Spotify. She does not like the word Henodus.
Like Bo was saying, it automatically knew that we suck. So.
She was just doing me a favor. Is that what it is? And it gave me the explicit version.
There you go.
It made sure to tell me that it was the explicit version. Yeah.
Nice.
Alexa, play Knife in the Spoon Drawer by Henodus.
Don't slow down.
So, awkward segue. I have no way to segue into this next question at the end there. I get stereotyped quite a bit for various things, and that drives me crazy. I feel like if you keep an open mind, you'd be surprised what you discover about people. Like I know, for example, somebody who's in a hardcore punk band and absolutely loves the Carpenters. Like the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter is like this goddess to him.
They were kind of the first punk
What would
band.
guys be? What would be people be surprised to learn about you guys?
Oh,
Brandy, explain how the Carpenters were the first punk band.
They did their own thing. They didn't give a fuck about
here.
what else happened. They were like, we're the Carpenters. We're here. We're gonna do this shitty, real slow music, and you're gonna fucking you're gonna love it.
It's pretty
That's
punk
what
rock.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. I just think, what was your question again?
What would people be surprised to learn about you guys?
Guys.
Josh?
Tell us a secret.
Jay's a concert pianist.
Ah.
Really?
I know that Trent does reenactments. I know that.
Yes,
True.
with
That's
some
true.
awesome costumes.
So
They're
what's that?
beautiful costumes.
What's that like? What do you do there? Do you spend all day, a week, a weekend? What do you do?
It's generally like a weekend. I've been doing this living history for Civil War for the last 16 years now. I started when I was like 16 years old. So I went to World War II, World War I, blew so much it's just my fascination with like history, and I don't know, it's just a great way to honor those who fought.
So like
I bet it's really fun, man. I've seen a reenactment live once, but I've never participated.
Yeah, there was one in Kenton a few years back. I know that. I was actually part of like the main people leading that too. So
oh, cool.
Your hat, man. Your hat is actually.
Yeah. This is Sherman's March. I love General Sherman. He's my man, but yeah.
So like if you get like shot, do you have to lay there for a long time? What's the deal?
Well, usually you feel like a lead projectile going into your body, and then you just fall down dead.
Yeah.
But we're always
Fall down
recruiting.
dead?
We're always recruiting.
Frank,
No.
we got to do
Wonder
it. Me
why.
and you.
The hypothetical lead projectile.
Jake, we got to do it. Me, you, and Frank.
Oh, I can't spend that much money. I saw those outfits. That looks very
no, dude.
expensive.
Actually,
Thought about it.
I actually have enough stuff for everybody.
Well, you convinced me.
Well, that was my out.
Bro.
You had me at lead
Our
projectile.
next ZTO broadcast, live from the battlefield.
Well,
Hey,
Trent,
man.
you actually convinced me for like World War One, like in
Yeah.
the trenches and whatnot. That looks pretty sick. So,
Yeah, if you guys Google Pennsylvania or just Google search MapQuest GWA trenches, which means Great War Association. Over in Pennsylvania, they actually have like a mile trench network. There's craters and there's like trench work for the Germans and the Allied side. For World War I, I portray a Canadian soldier from the Princess Patricia Light Infantry Division.
Wow.
So I don't know. I just really
that's
like
Canadian Army.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate that, by the way, because I am not smart enough to know what the hell he just said.
But I don't know. Like I said, I've always
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
history, and what better way to literally get in there?
Yeah. It looks like you're having a great time. Seems like it would be hell sometimes though. Like, are you actually like living outside and stuff for the weekend and whatever?
Yeah,
like in a hole.
Well, for the Civil War, we do camp in like tents, like the A-frames dog tents that they did have back in the day. But of course, I mean, we do cheat, so we have cots. World War II, they do have like the GP medium squad tents. Like if you watch Band of Brothers, like those squad tents that they have on the docu-series or that HBO series, like it's the same type of stuff we actually sleep in. And in our World War I group, we built barracks like on the side of a hill, so it's like underground, and then you walk into it. So we are pretty legit.
Yeah, I'd say so. I thought I mean, the pictures you were putting up there for a while, last month or whatever.
10-day. Yeah,
Yeah,
those were cool.
They looked like photos from that time period. So I mean,
I try my best to make it. But yeah, the uniforms. I mean, if you guys, like I said, I've already told Jay, Bo, and Josh. If you guys ever want to do it, if anybody want to do it, I have stuff for you guys, rifle and all.
But
as long as Jason's involved, I'm down.
You say Jason's a concert pianist? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, that's a lie.
Okay. I think one thing that would surprise everybody is we all, with the exception of Josh down there, we all like to cook.
I love.
Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen
Josh actually can cook.
pictures.
Josh can
make
actually
some
cook
pretty
some
food.
really good stuff. I've been to Josh's house many times.
He can cook some Kraft macaroni.
Hey, I go when I go play Dungeons and
Pop-Tarts like you never
Josh.
had before.
No, when I go over to Josh's house, I hope it's rice night.
Hey, well, hey, I tried to serve Randy a raw chicken leg one time. It was rough. He was trying to eat it too. He was trying to eat around it, and I was like, "You don't have."
It was
to
at
eat
a
that,
barbecue. Frank hands me. He's like, "You get the first one," and it wasn't done. I took a big bite out of it,
I'm not.
and I had to
good.
be polite. I'm like, "Dude, this is terrible."
I can't do the grill.
Yeah.
Plus, I think I had like four locos or something that day. It was a rough
There you
rough
go.
time of my life.
Trent, he throws down the kitchen, man. You gotta check out his Instagram. It's baseboard food.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. You know, I got a lot of crap for posting that type of stuff, but I don't have it. I don't want to post on my dirty counters. I mean, you don't want to see things like this or like that. You know, you want to see something nice.
But dude, the pictures look nice though.
They do.
They look legit.
It's
So-
all about the angle and the lighting. That's all it is.
Well, you eat fancier kind of dishes than I do, anyways. I mean,
Is it though?
well, I saw you did what was the last thing I saw you post? Something. It was a vegetarian something or other.
We'll look it up right now.
Oh, he's gonna bring it right up. He's gonna bring it
Oh, it
right
was
up.
something with salmon.
Oh well, that's just stuff from Wally World that I just bought and just
threw it together.
You know.
And it looked like art, all by
Oh
accident.
jeez. It's all about the green.
Your salmon with some fire ramen.
Oh, that was bad. That was. I mean,
bad?
it was good.
That was
But
bad?
it was
It
bad.
looked good. It looked good.
No,
though.
it was great, but the after effects.
That fire ramen will get you.
Anything
Oh,
spicy will
it
get me, man. I'm too old to eat hot stuff these days.
It's great use of the Clarendon filter.
Oh, I love that filter, man. That's my favorite. That's why it looks so good. I just cheat. I use cheat
It's what
filters.
does it.
Sarah's like,
I had
XX Pro Valencia.
I had some fire food that once about killed me one time with a girl that I was seeing when I lived there in Columbus. That she was Indian and invited
fuck
me
that
over
shit,
for,
man.
invited me over for dinner.
Hey,
Invited me over for dinner with her family for their family authentic dinner, and I didn't tell them before that I can't eat spicy foods. Literally almost died while trying. It got to the point where my face was as red as my shirt is.
Damn.
Finally, her brother turns and goes, "Dude, are you okay?" I was like, "I can't eat spicy food." This dude went sprinting to the fridge and brought out the entire gallon of milk and just started drinking.
Dude, that or they have like a mango drink that helps with the heat as well. And that's delicious.
Love Indian food. I
Me
love
too.
it. You guys,
I
I
can't
feel like
handle
you
it.
need to come down to Columbus. I'll take you to a really good Indian food.
Dude,
Indian food
Ob
restaurant.
India.
Yes, amazing.
That's the place to go.
I have a
That's
problem
where we
with
stop for
the
lunch.
the flowery flavors. There's a lot of weird perfumey kind of, I don't know, weird shit.
Very aromatic.
Saffron.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah,
aromatic
saffron.
food.
Yeah, curry. There's some curry, but
It's crazy.
it's good. Frank, next time you're down in Columbus, We'll go to
Well, I mean, I can't. If I'm down there, there's so many good places that we don't have up here. I can't chance it on Indian
Like
food.
everything?
Yeah.
And then you got to stop here and see me too, Frank, if you're ever in Columbus.
Yeah, if I'm ever in Columbus. We got this virus going around. It's really keeping me at home.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah, Ray. We can take you to some Indian food, man.
Yeah, man, I love Indian food. I eat. There's a place on Bethel Road that I eat at. Well, I used to like once a month, but
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's probably the same place.
It's right in the plaza with Halftime Tavern.
I know exactly what
DW3's is on the end. It's got a buffet.
Yeah. New India.
New India. Yes.
New India. They have a great buffet. I used to go there for lunch too.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah. I think that's the same strip where that our Korean restaurant is too.
Oh yeah. This like called Ararang, I think. And like
I don't think I've ever eaten there.
Oh, it's the bomb.
So it's a store, right? You walk in there and it looks like any regular store, but there's like a hidden restaurant or eatery in the back.
Nice.
I just saw that on
and it's
Diners,
really cool.
Drive-ins, and Dives on Food Network.
Yeah, it's great, like little mom and pop shop, and it's they got some great like hot pot soup, or like I guess what I get is like a kimchi.
Yeah, they do like a lot of.
I think it's really good.
BB and bops, and they do bulgogi steak or bulgogi beef and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to try that. I've done well.
Really good.
Everything ever opens back up.
Have you ever tried kimchi, Ray? Have you ever tried kimchi?
I have never had kimchi.
No. It's like
I love kimchi.
I don't like it, but I think it's one of those things you either like it a lot or you don't like it at all, because it's like a sauerkraut, right? Or like a kind of like a kraut kind of thing.
Oh man, it's elevated though. It's
Well,
I will
try
it. My weird fact is I have a cat that plays fetch.
Oh,
really?
Why was that not the first thing said?
Hold on.
I'm curious now.
He has raccoons too. And squirrels.
Really?
No, actually, Josh's place is really cool. They have deer all over the place. Go ahead, Josh. Take it away.
Take it away, Josh. Raccoons that we can hand feed. We got squirrels that are so fat that they can't climb the trees anymore. We get all sorts of birds, cardinals and blue jays and stuff. It's like I live in a Disney movie. Pretty great.
I wish my encounters with raccoons were like that, but they're not like that here. I actually had a video. It was like night after night of me dealing with this raccoon that kept getting my trash. Like he would lift the trash lid up and get in there and fuck it all up. And we just kept catching these raccoons in these cages and taking them out and letting them go outside of town. And I guess maybe it would have ate out of my hand, but it was approaching me with such speed that I closed the door and yelled, "Get out of here."
So this is what's happening right now at my house. Right there, you son of a... There he is. He's peeking, this little son of a bitch. Peeking at me like a little mother. You son of a bitch. Fuck off. Alice, why don't you do something about this shit? What the fuck?
You're either gonna eat your hand or eat out of your hand.
Yeah, one or the other.
Our one negative encounter with a raccoon was it had burrowed into our chimney and got into our roof. Ooh. And it's a very small space between the roof or the ceiling and the roof that he was stuck in, probably about that 6-inch thing. That was also about 2 weeks before my daughter was born. So I was fighting to make sure that a raccoon didn't fall through the roof, and that'd be level 1 for her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's rough. I was talking to a guy earlier today. He just had a baby not too long ago. And I said, do you constantly check on the baby? Because that's what I did with all 3 of our kids, would just check on them. Like you go in like, is the breath still happening? What's going on? I was just constantly worried.
I laid my hand on her all the time, just make sure she's still breathing.
Yeah. It's terrifying. And he's
still holding her.
Yeah.
She won't go to sleep.
He's like, I didn't get to experience this with my first kid. And I said, well, I had 3 kids 3 years apart each. So there was like a long period where we didn't have a small child. Now we finally have, they're all ambulatory and they can kind of do their own thing. It's a nice relief and change of pace, I think. But yeah. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about Shed Rat. You guys are associated with Shed Rat Industries, as you can see from Trent's shirt there. Bo's got Jaws going
Representing.
on. But how did you guys get hooked in with them and all that?
Jared called me and set the whole thing up. We have a friend band that we play with in Illinois called Camel Tofu, and they were one of the first bands to sign with them. And yeah, so they referred us over. It's just a really cool group. It's a great collective of musicians who support each other, and yeah.
Yeah, I like what I've heard from the playlist. There's a Spotify playlist that I was browsing, and there's a Bandcamp page, but you guys weren't on the mix they had on there. I think it must have been an
Those
old
motherfuckers.
It was an older mix though. So
take back what I said. No, but it's a pretty cool collective. It's a lot of great talent. Great group of musicians.
Yeah, Wojo from
Yes.
what's it? Sumptus Ignis.
Sumptus Ignis.
So he just did like a cover of our song, which was
really
phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's
that was
a way
pretty
better
sweet.
guitarist than I could ever plan to be. So it was pretty cool to have him cover our shit.
Heroes aren't who you thought they'd be. Turns out they're human, like you, like me. But if I gave a shit at all, maybe things wouldn't have to look so damn ugly.
yeah. Speaking of other people you're working with, who was it that's gonna have you guys do a live stream? Trent, you were talking about it. They're sending you cameras or something. Or?
Yeah, Groove You and Elementary Records. Yeah, I don't know. Josh has a little bit more information than I do on how that was set up.
Oh yeah, they're Groove You. It's a school up here in Dublin, right outside of Columbus, and it's continuing education for people, and they can go there and learn like how to mix different parts of the business side of music. And we just recorded Finish Your Drink there. That was one of their final projects actually for the semester. So now they're sending us the stuff to do that live podcast, and we'll probably end up working with them in the future again, but with a whole new group of students.
That's cool. I like that they're doing that. They worked with you on that bus project, right? The Coda bus.
That was fun.
That was so cool with the drumming on the guitar.
Whose idea was that,
very cool.
by the way?
It was Josh's.
Yeah, that was a couple cans of Bud Lights.
Now, I was wondering when I saw you doing that, I was like, I wonder if that is messing with Trent, because he was hitting your guitar, right? Like your bass.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of trust. Let's put it that way.
I know a lot of people are very, when they have a guitar, they're very, don't even handle it the wrong way, or don't lean it against this or that or the other thing. But yeah, I just noticed that and wondered how you felt about that.
One thing that was missing from that video that I feel like
the bird
should be said, the bird, dude.
The bird.
Yes. So while we were doing this interview, a bird like straight up flew into the window. It was like a loud thud, and then like you see the plumage or like the feathers everywhere, and then we went outside and we see like the actual impact. But didn't this bird did it survive or what happened?
No, remember
it died.
Came and grabbed it.
Yeah.
A hawk came and grabbed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
That's crazy.
Maybe it was running from the hawk. Or flying away
More
from
than
it.
likely, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I just remember when all that was going down, like we were just talking, and all of a sudden we heard this big boom, and we all just jumped.
Yeah.
It's our most poignant and heartfelt response to any question they had, and this bird fucked it up.
It said nope.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, we're gonna have to wrap this up here. We got like 6 minutes left. We should talk. Everybody's got a podcast here, except for a couple of you. Jake, you have a new podcast coming up.
Yes, it's called Something About Sports. It's pretty easy to talk because it's just going to be me. And each week we're literally going to be doing a subject. So we're literally going to have a subject that's something about sports.
You have a lot of material to work with right now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what people
The best
need.
time to start is I thought there's no sports around, so I have like an entire back catalog of
There you
sports. So I can do the history for a while till the shit's over with. Then I can figure out how to do the current shit whenever it does come back.
Or you could just really pretend like there's like a season of some sport happening and you're making it all up as you go on. Because nobody
hypothetical
Has
games.
anybody been watching the Ocho right now?
No.
It's been amazing.
I did watch WrestleMania, which was crazy. Did anybody watch that? Anybody
I
into
ain't
that?
got
at all?
to.
It's WrestleMania with no audience.
It was so awkward.
Weird. And then they had a match that was like a movie. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway.
two of them actually. You had two of them because you had the Undertaker AJ Styles Boneyard match, which is the
He
dumbest.
killed the man. He killed a man and buried him in a graveyard. I saw it happen.
He straight up killed two men's careers because they went 3 weeks later. Two of the guys that he took out of the match got fucking cut from the company.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So he literally tombstone their careers. Like, and then they had an acid trip of the Firefly Funhouse, which I still pretty sure I drank way too much that night because
I didn't get that far.
It's
I
a
didn't watch
drunk
that
trip.
one. But Ray's got a new podcast coming out. Oh, WTF
Yes.
did I just watch?
Yeah, what the fuck did I just watch? And it's going to be all about 80s and 90s TV shows that got canceled. And we're going to watch
Nice.
episodes of them and dissect why they got canceled and things like that. How they were.
Be on that podcast at some point.
Yep. We'll have
Hell yes.
first episode films May 5th or 6th, I forget. So, but
and then we have Jay and Trent. Well, they've of course got What's the Word, and got a big episode coming up. Going to be speaking with Jagged Brick themselves.
That's facts.
Yeah.
all
That's facts.
seven of them. So that'll be an interesting get together. And then Carrie, we're going to probably have you do more of these I won't be here to interrupt or anything. I'll just let you know. But yeah, that's basically a show, guys. I want to thank everyone for coming and doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay safe and stay sanitized, right?
I get to go to the bowels of hell tomorrow, so.
What? Where's that?
I was
going to ask, but now I got to know what that is. What?
You forget I work in the hospital, so.
Oh, really?
Yes, I literally get to go into the bowels of hell tomorrow, so.
Well, my thoughts and my heart's with you,
Good
Jake.
luck.
yeah, you're our hero.
All right, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
You are listening to ZTO Radio.
You are listening to a ZTOTV podcast. You can find all our shows on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcast entertainment simply by searching ZTOTV. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to rate and review because it really helps us out.